Hi, my name is Wendy Holloway. I'm going to talk to you about the hearing impaired, and my strategy is using visual aids and references for SPE 500. The strategy I chose for the hearing impaired is using visual aids and references in the classroom. Many deaf and hearing impaired students are visual learners and will have better access to information that is presented visually, and it also helps all students form a concrete picture of the concepts that you're teaching. Visual aids should be used all across the lesson and in the classroom for the hearing impaired. This strategy can be implemented in a variety of ways. You can write out vital information such as changes of meeting times. You can use projectors to make sure that the deaf person is not left out. Use visual material, handouts, key vocabulary words, diagrams, written instructions. You want to be aware that a deaf person cannot read or take notes at the same speed as lip reading, and allow time for a student to look at the relevant section of the handout, and make sure that you have his or her attention before you move on to the next section of the handout. You can provide a sign language interpreter for the student. It's generally considered good practice to provide all students with a copy of the PowerPoint slides. If you use a pointer, hold the pointer on the object long enough for the deaf or hearing impaired student to look and locate the reference that you're pointing to. Try to use subtitles on your videos when possible. Some deaf people who communicate in basic sign language may find that written English is a little bit more difficult to understand. So printed materials may need to be in plain English to assist deaf people when they have access to these materials. Try to stay in the same place and not move around while you're talking in the classroom. You want to use posters and pictures in the classroom for visual aids. Always face the student when you're speaking. Things that you'll need to implement this strategy would be a computer or an overhead projector if you want to show PowerPoint slides or a movie. You may need a pointer to point out words or an interpreter for the student. You need visual materials such as handouts and diagrams or any other visual aids that might be helpful for the student. The student might be able to read lips, or if they know sign language, they may need an interpreter. Other information the students may need, they need to be able to communicate with a teacher before class so the teacher can assess their ability, if they're able to read lips or take notes, and what their speed is. The teacher needs to know how well they function in the classroom prior to the class starting. For example, are they slow at taking notes? Can they read fast on the overhead projector? Do they need someone else to take notes for them? This type of assessment needs to be done prior to class, and it would also be helpful if the student communicated with the teacher what his or her preference is on their learning style. Thank you.